We had three major complaints with our previous First AC monitor build. The first, we were always running out of batteries. The second, we couldn't always locate where we had set down our wireless follow focus controller. And finally, we didn't have a clean way to mount and dismount our wireless video receiver. With this new build, I think we solved all those problems. Let's check it out. Do you love it? As you can see, one of the first things that we wanted to change was the battery situation. We went ahead and we slapped a V-mount battery on the back of this thing. Of course, with the small HD monitors, you can use LPE6 or even NPF batteries. But we were just finding ourselves having to switch them out all the time. And the best thing about this V-mount solution is that not only is it powering the monitor, but it's powering the wireless video receiver mounted to the top of the unit. We were able to do this by mounting a D-tab splitter onto the back of the V-mount bracket. We were pretty excited when we found a D-tab splitter that actually had a quarter 20 thread on the back of it. We've had a few instances in the past with other D-tab splitters where they didn't have any form of attachment, so we were forced to hot glue this D-tab splitter to the back of like a quick release plate or some other piece of equipment. Now, of course, you can buy a V-mount plate from Small HD's website that mounts really well to the monitor, but we're feeling pretty good about the way this one's configured, and this one comes at a much lower price point. Another thing that we're pretty excited about with this build is the fact that the follow focus control unit is mounted right to the monitor. You see this? Look at this. It's not going anywhere. This monitor build is really meant for run and gun shooting when your first AC has to be on the move with your camera operator and there's no time for stands. That's why we really like having the follow focus mounted to the monitor. In other situations where you are on a production where you have the flexibility or the time, or you're in one location where you can have a monitor on a stand, you don't have to have this follow focus mounted to it. In fact, it might even be kind of silly. In situations like this, we will go ahead and take the follow focus off and put it on a lanyard for the first AC to wear. We've had other builds in the past where we put handles on either side, and that works great for a director's monitor, but for a first AC unit, we've really found that doing the cradle method and having that follow focus mounted on one side works really great. And of course, we can't forget that one of the key components of this entire build is the cage. Usually you think about cages for cameras. Well, what about for monitors? In this case, it's really helping us out, and we're able to attach a ton of stuff very easily, like our wireless follow focus, our wireless video receiver. I mean, that's how we mounted the V-mount to the back of it. This cage is really a necessity when trying to make a build like this. And one of the best things about this cage is the amount of mounting options that you have. Quarter 20s, 3/8, NATO rail, 3/8 with airy locking pins. It's really got it all. We also really love that you can mount a sun hood to this cage using Velcro straps right here in these little corners. Boom, comes off and on really easily. Small Rig was thinking when they put this thing together. I'm telling you, if you're sleeping on Small Rig, wake up, because Small Rig has a ton of products, a ton of accessories for all kinds of different camera units and all kinds of different builds. All right, I think that covers most of the things that I really like about this rig. Now let's go ahead and show you how exactly we built it. And we'll go ahead and have a list down in the description below covering all of the products that I mentioned with links. All right, welcome to my building laboratory with headless Zach. My head is gone. Where did it go? My head is missing. Well, luckily our small HD monitor is not missing, and I've got it right here with the cage assembled onto it. I decided that it wasn't really worth our time to go ahead and assemble that onto the monitor. So if you pick it up, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Let's go ahead and get started with this build. We are going to start on the back of the monitor and start assembling that, at least get started assembling the V-mount bracket. I've got these cute little 15mm rods right here with quarter 20 threads on both sides. On one end, we decided to put some male-to-male quarter 20 screws into one end. I can't go ahead and take these off for you. I'm pretty sure we JB welded these things in there, so we're going to leave them as is. But we will go ahead and show where we are going to attach them. So we'll just go ahead and screw them in right here. Here's one on one side. This is how the V-mount bracket is going to attach to the rig. So once we have both of these screwed on there, we are going to move forward with the V-mount bracket. I believe we picked this guy up from Amazon. It's a Small Rig product. And what we're going to do, instead of going ahead and slapping it on there, we are first going to attach this DTAP splitter that we talked about a little bit earlier. And once again, that cool perk is that it has that 1/4-20 screw built right into it. As I mentioned, we were hot gluing these kinds of DTAP splitters to pieces of equipment in the past. Here, we have a really easy mounting point. So we're going to go ahead and just mount this thing to the back like so, using this really simple 1/4-20. What we will do next is we will attach the V-mount bracket to our 15mm rods. We'll use our little 1/4-20 screws right here. Great, so we have this part ready to go. Our V-mount bracket is looking pretty darn good. What we'll do next is we're going to add this little quick release for our wireless video receiver. We're going to go ahead and put that right on the top of this thing. We love these little quick plates. We use them for all kinds of things. It's just so much easier than having to screw and unscrew magic arms and things like that. It's tight. It's tight, looking good. Cool. So that's ready to go. When it's time, we will be able to very quickly mount our wireless video receiver on there. Boom. From Hollyland. We love it. It's very small, easy to use. Cool. Now, why don't we go ahead and add our dummy adapter. This is an LPE6 dummy battery here. I'm going to go ahead and plug that in just like so to our monitor. Looking good. I got 2 DTAPs ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to... Uh-oh. Did I mess myself up here? Let's see. Uh-oh. Zach might have made a mistake. Zach might have made a mistake. He did. So what we're going to do, actually, is we are going to take off. Don't make this mistake, you guys. I'm telling you, it's tight corners. Once you put this V-mount bracket on, it is tight. So what we are going to do is actually take it off. We might not even include this part because, frankly, this is just plain embarrassing, and you should not do it like this. So, taking the screws off, and we are going to start plugging things in because if you don't, like I said, it's tight, man. You're not going to be able to, I don't know if you're going to be able to get her done. Cool. That looks great. That should be all we need, because we are powering the monitor as well as the wireless video receiver. Cool. Let's put that back on. We made our mistake. We got it out of the way. You got to have at least one mistake when you're doing one of these builds. It's kind of like, like Legos. I feel like that would always happen with me. You're building some Legos and you get to a certain step and you're feeling really good about it, and then you get to a certain page where things just aren't making any sense anymore and things don't look quite like the pictures, and then you realize that 3 pages back you missed a step, or you thought one piece was a different one, and then you gotta start unassembling, and that's always a sad moment. But this is looking pretty good. We got all of our cables kind of ready to rock and roll. Let's go ahead and add this BNC cable. I probably could have put this on before I reassembled this V-mount bracket, but I think we've got just enough space to attach this piece as well, so I'm feeling good about that. Cool. So that's on there. That's feeling great. Let's go ahead and get this battery on here, and we can go ahead and start cleaning up a few of these cables. Here we go. Right here, we've got our DTAP here. Sometimes they're called PTAPs. Can somebody in the comment section explain to me what the difference between a DTAP and a PTAP is? I could probably Google search it. Is it an interchangeable thing? Tomato, tomato. I say DTAP. Maybe PTAP is a little bit different. School me, you guys. Tell me what's up. Now, we've got that thing powered up. Let's go ahead and get our wireless video receiver mounted in place. Okay. Now we're looking good. We'll go ahead and plug that puppy in. Boom. We've done it. Now, we'll go ahead and put our BNC cable on there. Just like so. All right, so we're getting close. Here is the next step where we are going to attach our wireless follow focus to this unit. I've got what's actually kind of an extension piece for a handle for a camera rig. Hopefully we can find a link for this or something at least close to it. It's really just an extension with area rosettes on both sides. What I'm going to attach to it is a little piece that has area rosette on one side, as well as a natal rail receiver, or like a female natal rail, if you will. gonna go ahead and make it so it's lined up vertically there. Tie that down, and here we are. This is one of the cool aspects of this cage. It actually has a NATO rail built into the side of it. You know, if you don't know NATO rail, then you may not even realize that's there. It's a really cool feature. We like it quite a bit. I'm gonna go ahead and just mount that thing right on there like so. Very cool. And we've attached a ARRI rosette to the back of our wireless follow focus. This is something that Nucleus M makes as an accessory. And we're just gonna mount this thing right on there. And we basically have ourselves a unit ready to rock and roll. It's here. You know, we could do a little cable management here and there. But for the most part, this is what we got. This works great. Oh, it's out of focus. Let me pull that. All right, there you go, guys. If you follow all those steps, you'll end up with something that looks a little like this. The ultimate first AC monitor build. This is it. This is what you want. Don't forget, I've got all the links down below with all the products that I mentioned. And if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments section. Or go ahead and give us a suggestion on what you'd like to see next. Maybe a completely different kind of video or a different build that we can do. All right, I'm Zach. Thank you so much for watching, guys. All right, there you go. If you follow those steps, not only will you have a monitor, but you'll have a sweet little puppy bear to have and to hold. Such a little sweetie bear, right? Such a little sweetie bear, right? Yeah.